This story, which is a big one in Major League Baseball, Mark Faison, right before we started the show, within the hour before the show leading up to it. So we haven't fully dove into all of this yet, but MLB has announced the following suspensions for unrelated violations of the sports betting policy. Now, the biggest and harshest one goes to Padres infielder, outfielder, Tucupita Marcano, who has been permanently banned from Major League Baseball. Apparently made over 231 bets on Major League Baseball. Only won 4.3% of them.
I hate to make a joke.
What are you doing?
I know exactly what that is. That's those long shot parlays.
Those parlays do look attractive when you're like, "Ooh, I can win $500,000."
Yeah.
But to be banned for life, you get a whole life sentence, and you only won 4%. That's not even worth it.
Yeah, what are you doing, man? You
At
threw
least
it
be
away.
winning out here. What are you doing?
So the others on the list,
Tucupita.
A's right-handed pitcher Michael Kelly gets a 1-year suspension. Padres left-handed pitcher Jay Groom, who was once a former pretty big prospect, gets a 1-year suspension. Phillies infielder, who is on the 40-man roster and explains why Weston Wilson and David Dahl were called up and not him, gets a 1-year suspension. And then D-backs left-handed pitcher, who was in their bullpen last year, Andrew Salfranc, Frank also gets a one. I did a little French Franc on that. Sal Frank also gets a 1-year suspension. So major scandal. This is a problem for all the leagues. This is not unique to Major League Baseball. It's not going to go away.
It's going to get worse and worse. And, you know, I feel for these guys. First of all, if you're playing baseball, don't bet on baseball.
Brian said, sounds like me betting.
These are some poor decisions. But Major League Baseball itself, I mean, you've got ESPN bet is like the biggest sign in Citizens Bank Park.
It's
You've got T-Mac reading live lines during the broadcast. and what is it? The Fanatic Sportsbook runs an ad during every game.
Yeah.
If you want to embrace all this gambling, and, you know, it's becoming more and more widespread. Like, I don't know.
Spiral Out says this suspension is brought to you by.
Right.
But it is just weird because sports betting is such a big partner of all things sports. I mean, we have bet parks. You know, everybody, so many sports outlets and networks and games. You hear and see the lines being read.
New norm.
And I know Major League Baseball was saying that they first identified the past baseball betting activity from accounts connected to multiple major and minor league players, because someone like Jay Groom, like I would say 2/3 of his betting was done when he was a minor leaguer. So that's the other thing. Like, it's your past coming up to bite you in the rear.
You can't bet on your own sport. Bet on the other sports. Who cares?
Yeah.
Stop betting on baseball if you play in baseball. Don't bet on the NFL if you play in the NFL. Don't bet on the NBA. Jonte Porter, like, what? You guys.
Like Jose Rodriguez.
It is not worth it.
Jose Rodriguez placed 3 bets on college baseball games and 28 bets on Major League Baseball games back in September of 2021.
Doesn't matter. I don't have any sympathy for him.
And in June of 2022 when he was with the White Sox, actually.
It's very simple. Don't bet on your sport. That's it.
Literally coming back to bite you because you can't follow rules.
It's like insider trading. Stop it. So these guys, you know, they fumbled the bag, and it sucks, but, you know, they made their beds, or they got to sleep in it now.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I
understand the hypocritical nature of it.
The hypocritical nature doesn't sit well
but you
with
definitely
me.
can't
But
bet
you're very
on your own
right.
sport.
It's clear what you can and can't do.
Yeah, you can't bet on
I understand minor leaguers don't get paid a ton, but, like, you're not going to hit this long shot.
But, like, one day you might
parlay.
make it to the majors and be getting paid a ton, and now you have a life suspension, and you can't play because you bet hundreds of times.
It's the Bronx Tale quote from Sonny. You know, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. Yeah. And it's like, you guys are athletically top 1% in the world, and to see somebody screw it up for something like that, it's just, it sucks. But, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just don't bet. Honestly, be smarter, be more mature and aware of the future, what your future can hold and how this can change it. And it's a shame to hear these are 3-4 years ago that guys are now getting suspension because you thought you can get away with it. And you never can in this era. The phones are listening. The computers are always listening.
No sympathy. Here's Bob Nightingale with some of the numbers.
They will find you.
Marcano bet more than $150,000, only winning 4.3%. Kelly
really is not a good better.
Bet a total of $99.22. What are you doing? Groom bet $453.74 with a loss of $433. Rodriguez only bet $749.09.
Can you imagine getting suspended from your job for an entire year for $100?
What are you guys doing?
$99
$100?
you bet, and now you're suspended for the year.
And Sal Frank bet $445.87.
I got like $4 to my
losses.
name, and I can bet $100.
And
what
you
are you
have
guys
someone like
doing?
Saul Frank who didn't give up
If
an
you take
earned
advantage of the
run.
promotions and you
Saul
can-
Frank in 2023 with the Diamondbacks didn't give up an earned run in 10 appearances, and now you're getting suspended because you had
So
a parlay
dumb.
that you staked $1.80 on.
Have your
that you
buddy
lost.
do it.
No,
Have your translator do
Venmo
it.
them.
no,
You don't need a paper trail.
No.
All right, that's
Don't
it for
do
us
it.
today.
Don't use the apps. Go down, to our guys in South Philly. And
Dumbasses. That's going to do it for us here
Yeah,
today.
It really makes sense now. This is why people are making those fake accounts that are like, I am Tobias Harris.
Right.
Password the real Tobias Harris.